The girl secretly observes in front of the telescope every day, because she is staring at the rich man in the opposite villa. Lisa will even carefully record the rich man's every move. It's like an experienced hunter observing a hunter. After learning that the rich man loves red wine, Lisa carefully planned a coincidence. In the supermarket where the rich man often goes, Lisa pretends to hesitate in the red wine area. She is holding a few bottles of expensive red wine in her hand. The rich man's eyes are attracted by this young and beautiful girl. Before she walked up, she warmly recommended several precious red wines to Lisa. Lisa is happy for her success, and her beauty makes the rich man's heart flutter. The two of them have a good talk. They even exchanged contact information. The rich man watched Lisa leave. He was still in a daze and couldn't get out of it. However, when he left the supermarket, he met Lisa, who was trembling. It turns out that Lisa's online dating car order was cancelled for no reason. He can only stand by the roadside and wait. The rich man took the opportunity to invite Lisa to take his train. In the face of the hunter's invitation, Lisa will naturally not refuse. On the way home with Lisa, he complained about his crazy roommate, and he said that he just quarreled with his roommate today. He really doesn't want to go back now. The rich man was delighted after hearing this, so he invited Lisa to his house for a drink. Wait for his roommate to fall asleep before sending her back. As expected, high-end hunters appear in the form of prey. Lisa pretended to be hesitant, but in the end, she still agreed to the invitation. After coming to the rich man's villa, the two of them tasted the red wine to show their wealth. The rich man told Lisa that he founded his own company after inheriting the property. Later, the company was acquired by Google, so he lived a half-retired life at a young age, and Lisa revealed that she used to be a substitute model. But she was tired of being bound by fashion, so she came out to pursue her own career. But now she keeps running into trouble. She can only stay at a nearby bar. As the alcohol slows down, the distance between the two of them gets closer and closer. However, Lisa suddenly proposed that she should go back. Now the rich man can't let her go, and this is exactly what Lisa wants. The two of them spent a wonderful night in the villa. But after Lisa left, the rich man felt extremely empty. He didn't know that he had fallen into a huge conspiracy. In order to see Lisa as soon as possible, the rich man rushed over as soon as the bar was open. Looking at the rich man who was getting hooked step by step, Lisa could no longer suppress Sean Yang's mouth. After getting off work, Lisa shared her past with the rich man. Her childhood was full of awkwardness. This made the rich man have a strong sense of protection for her. When they met a car thief in the garage, the rich man just wanted to warn them. However, the car thief molested Lisa. In anger, Lisa used a bottle of alcohol to fight back. This completely infuriated the car thief. The rich man was also injured in the right leg. Lisa naturally became the rich man's personal caretaker. In the days of taking care of the rich man, Lisa took the opportunity to get the password to the villa. However, when she returned to the apartment, her secret had been discovered by her roommate. Her roommate also took Lisa's notebook as a threat and asked her to reveal her real purpose. In order to continue to implement her plan, Lisa first comforted her roommate. Then she moved into the villa and took care of the rich man's bed. Lisa took the opportunity to feed the rich man sleeping pills. However, after the rich man fell asleep, she unlocked the phone of the villa security system. The next morning, when the landlord went to the apartment to collect the rent, he found Lisa's roommate dead in the bathtub. After a thorough investigation, the police had no idea about Lisa's information. They could only deduce that she used a fake identity. When the rich man on the other side woke up, he found his phone missing, and the smart system of the villa was also shut down. He was surprised to find the news of his roommate's death on TV. At this time, Lisa, who went crazy on Thursday, just came back. When the rich man told him about his roommate's death, Lisa seemed to be calm. He also told the rich man that he had killed his roommate,
To him,
and the purpose
the
was
rich
to get
man
close.
was shocked after hearing this. He asked Lisa why she did this. So Lisa also revealed her true face. He told the rich man that he was close to his roommate just to monitor his whereabouts in the apartment. In the past 2 months, he collected the exact time the rich man slept, ate, and went shopping. They also carefully planned their encounter. Now the rich man realizes that he is in danger. He tried to escape in a hurry, but the door was suddenly locked. It turned out that the phone in the villa had already fallen into Lisa's hands. The rich man wanted to steal the phone, but he was tricked by Lisa. When he woke up, again, he found himself tied to the wheelchair. Lisa asked the rich man to give her account and password, but the rich man refused. He scolded Lisa for being sinister. As a result, Lisa kicked him. But the rich man who fell to the ground still refused to cooperate, and Lisa was ready. She took out an electric drill and threatened the rich man. Then she hit the rich man's calf with the electric drill. Lisa successfully transferred all the money in the rich man's account, but she didn't intend to let the rich man go. Instead, she wanted to transfer all the shares under the name of the rich man to herself. But this requires the rich man to contact the manager himself. So Lisa had to untie the rich man first, to avoid the manager from noticing that the rich man was kidnapped. However, at this time, the apartment landlord accidentally found a telescope when cleaning. Through this angle, he happened to see everything that happened in the villa. As soon as Lisa untied the rich man's hand, the angry rich man rebelled. The two of them fell into a fierce fight in an instant. In a hurry, Lisa touched the scissors around her and stabbed the rich man's shoulder. She tried to use this to force him to rebel. However, the rich man's will was firm. Lisa was shocked. She played the video of the rich man's daughter on her phone. In order to protect her family, the rich man had to surrender to Lisa's grace. Lisa, who got what she wanted, quickly cut off all the communication lines in the villa. Then she called her own accomplices. It was the thief who injured the rich man that day. The two of them threw away the art and furniture in the rich man's house. However, just before they left, the landlord who
had been lurking by the road suddenly appeared. He broke through the window and broke into the villa. Lisa immediately got the news. And the landlord didn't come to save the rich man this time, but to take advantage of the fire. He asked the rich man for $1 million in revenge, otherwise he wouldn't have saved him. However, at this time, the villa had already been taken by Lisa and her accomplices. The rich man had no choice but to let the landlord take away a painting of Picasso on the wall. This painting is worth at least $7 million. For the rich man, this is the only bargaining chip he can use at the moment. Then the landlord untied the rope for the rich man. He was satisfied with the painting and was ready to leave. However, at this time, Lisa was already standing in front of the door. The landlord took up the knife and threatened Lisa not to come forward. However, Lisa took out a samurai sword. In order to protect herself, the landlord swore that he would never say a word. He just wanted to leave this place with the famous painting in his hand. However, Lisa didn't let him go easily. She knew the landlord's greed and cunning. Once she let him go, there would be endless trouble. She chased the landlord to the garage. At this time, the rich man took advantage of this opportunity to break free from the shackles and escaped from the villa. However, he found that his car had already been locked by Lisa and couldn't start it. At this time, the landlord, who had nowhere to run, was still struggling to survive in the garage. But how could the little dagger fight the samurai sword? After a round, his neck was injured. The landlord saw that it was not good. He immediately blocked the famous painting in his hand in front of him. He tried to use this value-added painting to threaten Lisa to let him go. However, Lisa no longer cared about this fly. The landlord was defeated by a knife. At the same time, the rich man took the opportunity to ride a snowmobile to escape from here. But due to too much panic, he pressed a stone and fell to the center of the road. Fortunately, a passing car braked in time to save his life. The rich man immediately asked the driver to help call the police. Just when the rich man was about to tell his story, he found that the car had returned to the villa. And the driver was actually Lisa's adoptive father. He is the mastermind behind all this. It turns out that they have already set their eyes on the tens of millions of bonds in the hands of the rich man. In order to obtain these bonds, they did everything possible. In order to get the bonds from the bank, they cut off the rich man's fingers. At this time, the rich man's ex-wife suddenly brought her daughter to visit the rich man. However, as soon as she entered the door, her ex-wife found that everything was too late. Lisa had already walked out with her daughter. Then the rich man's ex-wife and daughter were also locked in the cloakroom. They were locked together with the rich man who was covered in blood, and Lisa's adoptive father put the rich man's thumb in his hand and pretended to be injured in the palm of his hand to deceive the bank officer. He tried to pretend that the rich man had entered the bank safe to withdraw the bonds. The man put the rich man's thumb in his hand and pretended to be injured in the palm of his hand to deceive the bank officer. He tried to pretend that the rich man had entered the bank safe to withdraw the bonds. However, he failed consecutively when verifying the fingerprints. Just as the security guard was about to call the police, the fingerprints were verified again. And at this time, the rich man felt that he couldn't sit and wait like this anymore. He let his tiny daughter climb over the ventilation duct and open the door for himself. At the same time, Lisa, who opened the safe, found nothing inside. It turned out that the real bonds had been transferred by the rich man's ex-wife. Realizing that the plan had failed, Lisa and her accomplices immediately returned to the villa. The girl just opened the door. Lisa and the others hurried back to the villa, and at this time, the rich man's family had escaped. While the accomplices were searching, the rich man, who was hiding in the cabinet, took the opportunity to attack. However, the man's body was too strong. The attack of the rich man seemed to have no effect, and the injury he himself suffered was very serious. He was not a man's opponent at all. 3 times, 5 times, 2 times, he was knocked down by the other party. At this time, Lisa, who arrived, tried to force her to ask where the bonds were. And the accomplices, who were attacked and injured, ordered Lisa to take action. Immediately, Lisa looked at the rich man, but she didn't do it. The accomplices began to scold and try to force her to do it. But the next second, and at the same time, the rich man picked up the sickle on the ground and cut it straight to Lisa. He also took back the phone that controlled the villa. He quickly called the police and turned off the lights in the house. And then he created a chaotic light effect, and then he used up the bullets in Lisa's gun. When Lisa was getting closer, the rich man started a counterattack from the dark. But unfortunately, the injury was too serious. Lisa quickly counterattacked. The rich man, who was seriously injured, lost his power completely. However, when Lisa was about to kill the rich man completely, the rich man's ex-wife slowly approached him, but because Lisa's power was too strong, both of them were shocked. Just when Lisa wanted to end all this, a gunshot suddenly came from behind. It turned out that the police rushed over in time and ended this thrilling fight. Watch the movie Find the Rich Man, and continue to update good movies that are exciting and exciting.